You are not your thoughts. You never were. That voice in your head, that constant chatter, that's not you. It's a program, a reflection, a mixture of everything you've absorbed from your environment, your family, society, the system, and every trauma you thought you survived, but never really processed. You've been walking around thinking those thoughts are you. They're not. You're the one watching them. You are the one behind the scenes, the observer, the awareness, the stillness under the storm. And if you don't realize that soon, you'll keep reacting to the noise like it's your truth. But it's not your truth. It's your test. Let's talk about the war going on inside you. Not outside, inside. You've got two voices, two forces. One's loud, always needing attention. That's the ego. The other's quiet, calm, doesn't force itself. That's the higher self. Ego is built on fear, on defense mechanisms, on false stories made to protect you, but keep you small. It whispers things like, what if you fail? You'll never be good enough. Who do you think you are? But the higher self, it doesn't whisper. It resonates. It speaks in knowing, in chills down your spine, in the silence after a breakdown when you finally hear the truth. The ego is loud because it's scared. The higher self is quiet because it's unbothered. It already knows who you are. The question is, who are you listening to? Intrusive thoughts are the parasites of the mind. They slip in, distort the mirror, make you think something's wrong with you. But hear me clearly. Having a dark thought doesn't mean you're a dark person. Having a violent thought doesn't mean you're violent. Having a fearful thought doesn't mean you're weak. These thoughts aren't you. They're echoes, they're projections, they're weapons, sometimes even implanted by the system or the energy field around you. Because the truth is, the brighter the light, the more shadows it casts. And the mind gets attacked the moment the soul starts waking up. So don't attach to the thought. Watch it float by, like a leaf in the river. You are the water, not the leaf. It's time to flip the script. Stop being a victim of your own mind and become the author of your inner story. Start listening to how you talk to yourself, how you correct yourself, how you shame yourself. Would you speak that way to a child? To someone you love? If not, then you probably shouldn't speak to your soul like that. You got to reclaim the throne inside your mind, kick the imposters out, rewire the room. Every thought is a seed, and your focus is water. So what are you watering? Fear, self-doubt, or your becoming? Speak to yourself like the truth you actually are, because the mind bows to repetition, and the soul rises when it hears its name. The real you is not the one overthinking. It's the one watching the overthinking. The real you is not the pain you've survived. It's the force that kept going when everything fell apart. The real you is ancient, untouchable, unbothered by this world's illusions. You are the witness, the presence behind the noise, the still point the chaos can't touch. And once you remember that, everything changes. You stop taking the bait. You stop reacting. You start responding. You stop surviving. You start commanding. Because you realize it's not about controlling every thought. It's about no longer being controlled by them. See, this system we live in, it knows exactly how powerful your thoughts are. That's why it floods your mind with fear, doubt, and distraction. It needs you to believe the voice of your wounds. It needs you to confuse your trauma for identity. Because if you ever tap into the real you, the system can't touch you. That's why it tries to hijack your thoughts. Why it mirrors back fake realities. Why it surrounds you with people who gaslight and project. It's all a test, a pressure cooker, to see if you'll break or become. To master the mind, you don't need to control every thought. You just need to observe, without attachment. Let the thought float by. Let the emotion pass through. Don't grip it. Don't fight it. Don't fear it. Just witness. Because the moment you witness a thought, without believing it, it loses its power over you. Now you've stepped into the seat of the seer. You're no longer the actor. You're the director, the script writer, the one with final say. This is what the masters taught. Be in the world, not of it. Be in the mind, but don't be bound by it. What happens when you program your mind with intention? You become a frequency generator. You don't wait for peace. You radiate it. You don't beg for clarity. You embody it. You don't chase safety. You declare it. This is the deeper level of thought work, programming the subconscious to run divine code. So when you're tired, drained, or under attack, your inner world stays solid because your defaults are no longer trauma. They're truth. I am protected. I am source informed. I remember who I am. I only receive thoughts aligned with the highest will. Say it until your cells believe it, until your energy confirms it, until your timeline bends to it. If you are a seer, a walker between worlds, a blueprint carrier, then your mind is a portal to more than just thoughts. It becomes a transmitter of visions, downloads, timelines. And when it's left unguarded, those transmissions can be hijacked. So you must seal the gates. Every day, every night, you got to protect your mind like a sacred temple. No more leaking energy to chaos. No more consuming anything just because it's trending. No more agreements with frequencies that make you forget who you are. Your mind is divine real estate. Guard it with your life. Let's call this what it is: frequency warfare. We're not just dealing with information. We're dealing with transmission. Whole industries built to keep you reactive, to make you spiral, to pull you down just enough to never remember you can fly. This is spiritual sabotage. Hijack the thought, and you hijack the choice. Hijack the choice, and you hijack the destiny. So when you're scrolling, when you're tired, when you're vulnerable, ask yourself, who is feeding me this? And what does this thought serve? Because every thought is a fork in the road, a vote for the old you, or a gateway into your next form. It's time to reclaim your crown, not just emotionally, not just spiritually, but mentally. You were never meant to be ruled by the mind. You were meant to rule it. That means knowing when to pause, when to silence, when to speak to yourself with royalty-level clarity. You must become sovereign in the unseen before the scene obeys you. You must walk like your thoughts shape weather. You must speak like your words rewrite timelines. You must think like your imagination is a blueprint from the divine, because it is. And if you're still here listening, this isn't just about thoughts. This is energetic warfare, mind games on a cosmic level. Seers, chosen ones. Your thoughts get targeted the most because your thoughts create timelines. Your inner world shifts the external world. So if they can corrupt your thinking, they can stop your becoming. That's why you feel the pressure. That's why your mind feels like a battleground. It is. But guess what? You are the original architect, the divine blueprint. And once you remember that, nothing in this realm can override your command. Say this out loud. I am not my thoughts. I am the force behind them. I release false identity and return to source clarity. I speak to myself with power, precision, and peace. I do not consent to any interference. I walk with divine will. I reclaim the throne within my mind. Let those words soak in. not just as affirmations, but activations. You came here to remember who you are, not to control every thought, but to rise above them. And once you do, your whole reality bends in your favor, because the mind is a servant, but the soul is the ruler. So rule.